name is Taryn, and thank you so much for stopping by my channel, Nicole Flower House. I grow cut flowers in my cut flower garden in Zone 7B. In today's video, I wanted to share with you my process in planting a brand new rose garden. This is the spot that I want to put it. It's right along my neighbor's fence line. It is about 8 feet wide, I would say, and 60 feet long. I'm moving my roses out of their current spot in my garden, which is in my garden beds, because they are just way too big for that space. And so I want to give them a proper home. Now this space used to be wooded. You can see all the stumps that are here. There's just a few that are left. Most of them are rotting. I think they're kind of pretty, but I'm gonna have to take them out if I want to turn this into a rose garden. So that is one of the steps, and there's also a lot of big roots and things in this area as well. And because of the size of this project, I am going to contract out, I think, part of this project depending on what the budget is and what the estimates come back. Really hard for me to do large projects like this, just my husband and I. It's a lot of manual labor, and so this time around, before committing to that, I'm just going to get some estimates. I plan on having the stumps and the roots dug out, and hopefully the grass as well. And if I can't get the grass out, then we'll just mulch it and kill it. But I'm going to put a layer of compost down, and not actually compost, it's horse manure. I got a dump truck load of horse manure from a friend, and I really love the biology and the nutrients that are in it, and I can tell that my plants really love it. However, it has a lot of grass and weed seeds in it, so I think I'm not going to put that in my garden beds anymore. I'm going to likely switch over to worm castings as my source of nutrition. I have a huge pile of that horse manure. It's 3 years old, so it's composted down pretty well, but it was, it was not heat composted. It was just left to sit. So that's why there's the weed seeds and everything in it. But anyways, I want to spread all of that out in this area since I don't really have a use for it right now, and it's still a really good product. It just, I don't want to put it into the garden beds. So I'll put that down, or the landscapers put that down for me using equipment. And then I want to really thickly mulch it with a nice shredded wood mulch. And that mulch will also help with the weed and grass situation, as well as keeping the ground nice and cool and retaining moisture to keep those roses nice and happy. You can see here these roses are, too big for their space, and they're also not quite dormant. My roses in Zone 7B don't really go completely dormant, but January, February is a good time for me to prune these way back and transplant them. So that is going to be part of my process. Right now, these roses are planted about 5 feet apart from each other. I'm not sure what I want to do in the new space because I do want a hedge effect. So I may plant them a little closer together, closer to 3 or 4 feet apart maybe, so I can get tighter, more blended look and better ombre effect with the color. Now here is a look specifically at my Strawberry Hill rose. This rose happens to be a climbing rose, and the TP trellis that my husband built for me is still standing and doing really well. It's one of my favorite things in the garden. You can see that it's just so natural and has all kinds of life and things growing on it, and I love all the dimension and the beauty that this adds. So I definitely will find a place for this, probably in the rose garden. I'm not 100% sure. I will probably put it in there but grow a different plant on it. And Strawberry Hill, she just needs an arbor, I think. She needs an arbor, so I'm going to use an arbor from a different place in the garden and make sure she has something very substantial and also very tall and you know, if it can grow across the top of the arbor and then back down, and that way she'll have a proper space. Here's a look at the 12 roses that I have throughout my garden. They're all David Austin roses, and I just love all of them. Some of them are better than others, I think, for cutting. Just from my own perspective, the amount of thorns on each of them. For example, Munstead Wood, that rose has so many thorns, like really big ones and really small ones. And I'm just unsure if I'll be able to strip all of those off and use them in arrangements or not. It's a beautiful cut flower. I love the way it looks, and of course I'm willing to brave those thorns for myself. And that's a perfectly legitimate reason to have a beautiful rose in your garden. You don't always have to think about, oh, well, my customers like this, or can I sell it? If it's something that you love and want in your garden, by all means, I hope you have it there. But as far as like cut flower production, I've never really researched kind of the characteristics of the roses before picking them out. I usually just look at the blooms and decide if I like them or not. So that's something to consider if I'm going to add more roses to this space or not. This is the arbor, either this one or the next one, I'm not sure. One of these two arbors is what I want to use for Strawberry Hill Rose in the new rose garden. So obviously she will have to be right in the center. This arbor I really like. It has little birds on it. I like the cast iron look, the black color. It really contrasts with the blooms well. So all of my arbors are that way. This one's really cute. And then this other one is more of a gothic look, so I could also choose to use this one. I'm not really sure which one I want to use over there. Let me know in the comments below, which arbor do you vote for Miss Strawberry Hill Rose? And again, I do want to put the arbor right in the middle of this space. That would be a good place for some structure, which is where all the stumps happen to be. So if the estimate comes back really high, or it's something I don't want to dig out because I just think they're cute and pretty and I'm weird like that, and I can mulch around them, I may do that and just try to incorporate a space in the middle where that arbor is, overreaching those stumps. I know they're going to rot out and be gone eventually. So, and here's a look at that horse manure. You could just see everything. It's like growing its own little biome over here. It has all of this grass, and then there's some other weeds that I don't really know what they are, but it's just kind of, when I use this in the garden beds, it's really taking over. And obviously this is a large amount of material for me to move and my husband to move. You know, we don't have equipment or anything, so it would just be a shovel and a wheelbarrow, and it would be a lot of work. So we're willing to do it if we need to. But that's why we're getting the estimates and the landscapers out here, just to see what that would look like for this project. So I'll definitely keep you updated on what is going to happen with regards to that. You are definitely getting the full experience of the before shot, if you will, and I'm excited for what it will turn into. And I do plan on keeping all of the perennials that I've already planted in that area where they are. And then this area in front of the perennials will be those green garden mats that I mentioned in a previous video, which is just basically landscaping fabric that has pre-burned holes into them, so that if you don't have equipment to burn holes, you can get some that already have holes in them, and they're more expensive, but again, it's less labor. So hopefully in front of that rose garden, that space there will be full of annual cut flowers in the summer. Here is a beautiful picture of my Jubilee Celebration Rose, quickly becoming one of my favorites, and I have posted it on Instagram a few days back, so you can always check out my Instagram for flower pictures. I love posting my garden on Instagram so I can look back through the years and kind of see a history of my own garden. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your ideas and thoughts about the rose garden. I love your feedback. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, and the best way you can support me and my channel is to subscribe and share it with your flower loving friends. I'll see you next time. Bye.